So this is Nick Speaks number 2. Nick Speaks number 1 is deleted forever because I recorded with my volume at like 2 volume and I didn't feel like editing it. So here we are. Lenses. Is this how you spell lenses? But lens. And by lens, let me just explain the metaphor real quick. It's just glasses. You know, you got your. It's like you got your shades on your face. Got your Ray-Bans on, got your Da Vinci, your Prada shades on my face so you can't see my eyes. And essentially, my perception of it is that all humans, whether we know it or not, and we can't help it, we see life through our own eyes. My perception of it is that all of us are walking around with not just one pair of glasses on, but it's like here's your ear glasses. We got like 50 pairs of shades on our faces, Like imagine you're wearing like you heard the expression rose-tinted glasses, but you have it's like an absurd amount of glasses. Like it's like you got this filter, this filter, this filter, this filter, this filter, this filter, and then this is the outside world in this little box. Put a tree here, put a beautiful tree here, put the sun. This creates the barrier. So we're getting sensory input from the outside world. It's being filtered through all of our lenses, which is beliefs, experiences. It could be political, it could be personal, it can be anything that is taking this image and telling it to your brain. And we can't help doing this, Even the fact that we can see things is crazy. So if we're thinking about it in that kind of manner, I think the secret. And okay, so now we're aware of our lenses on our eyes. You guys are now aware that you're seeing life through your biased perspectives. Think about your own biased perspectives. And just because they're biased doesn't mean they're wrong. Everyone has their own unique point of view. Everyone has their own life experiences that lead to certain things. It's just a part of being human, I think. But I also think we're now aware of these lenses now. We're aware of the lenses, we got them on, we're looking through them. If you're aware of something, you are now responsible for it. Does that make sense? You're aware of it, you're aware of the problem. It's not even necessarily a problem, but you're aware that this is happening. So now that you're aware, you can stop Jackson. Now that you're aware of it, you can start to manipulate it. Okay, so I think the quote, seeing life through rose-tinted glasses, is really crazy because it's like you're seeing life through a certain way, and that's exactly what you need to do. So, okay, I'm gonna use Melee games as an example just to kind of keep the metaphor going. So, if you want, you have to put the lenses on to see the world through the idea of a good player or something you want to improve at. If you want to become really smart at physics, you got to read a bunch of physics books and put on your physics glasses so you start seeing that through the world. And the more attention you put into things and more lenses you put on, the more you're gonna start seeing that thing. So, I think that makes sense. I'm thinking for a second. I think, to kind of sidetrack a little bit, my idea of peak human is no thoughts, head empty. No thoughts, head completely empty. Which is crazy. And I think to get to that and to try to see the world without these lenses, you have to put active work into challenging your own beliefs and your own biases. We kind of talked about this in Nick Speaks 1, the hidden VOD that only the few will know about. The effort isn't into putting on more lenses, which could be good for if you want to see the world a certain way. And remember, you're aware of it now, so you're in control of it. So you are picking the lenses you're putting on. There's going to be some you're unaware of, your unconscious biases, things you don't know about yourself. Maybe ask your friends about them, maybe stuff like that. But essentially, the idea is to take off as many of these lenses as possible and get to that point of seeing the world as it is, not as you want it to be, or as you are seeing it through your lenses of experience. Does that kind of make sense? Whenever I start thinking about it, I always get this I drew it earlier, but this imagination of just imagine a dude just wearing 50 sunglasses. Let me see if I can pull up a reference pic for this. Whatever. But yeah, basically this picture. It makes sense. You're wearing multiple pairs of sunglasses. Each one of these is a belief that you have, that you hold. And the idea is to take off as many of these sunglasses as possible. Here's John Lennon doing it. What a cool guy. Do that. I'll slap this onto this fucking document right here. So boom. This is who we are. All these is one belief, one belief, one belief, one belief, one belief. And you're aware of them now. So now we got to start taking them off and reach that state of no lenses, which is probably impossible. There's probably Zen Buddhist monks out there that are in complete meditation. But then even that's a lens you see the world through. And it's impossible to escape the subjective view of being a human. But it is possible to limit it. And I find the people that I like associating with the most are the people that are aware of their own biases and intentions that they have on their their eyes, you know. CS streams? You'll never get CS streams, that's all I gotta say. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Lenses, ideas. I kind of want to keep these kind of brief, just so you can pick it up, watch it, and it's easier to edit, of course. So I think that may be it. Core concepts, you're all wearing a bunch of sunglasses. They're all a belief that you're seeing the world through. The idea is to take off these sunglasses or manipulate them in some way. You can manipulate it. If you want to be a good physicist, you put your physics glasses on. If you want to be a good melee player, put your melee glasses on. But you are responsible for your own beliefs and how you see the world.